Some of the rings are impossible to get. They wouldn't be so difficult if the camera didn't change angles.
You don't have to get all the rings. You just need to collect enough to survive through the level.
He's just stating that the camera is making it hard to get rings, which it does at times. Kinda hard to get even one ring in order to survive if the camera keeps interfering. Plus, maybe he wants to get all the rings to get a high score. What's the problem with that?
There's time bonus for that.
Or if the controls weren't so bad. Yes! No! Fuck Nozzle!
Okay, first of all, I am forced to play this.
Because you said that you had to play the video clip before you actually did it, you kind of ruined the placement value of putting it in there.
Secondly, why couldn't you just land on the platform and then jump and try to get that ring again after you've landed the platform? Keep trying until you got it. Why couldn't you do that?
Yeah, didn't you know Tails was going to eventually drop like a pancake?
This guy is unfucking believable.
Now look at this! Sonic outruns this orca, jumps on flying pieces of wood, jumps on the orca's fin, and now logically, you'd assume that Jackie Chan's gonna jump to that nearby island.
That's just impossible! I mean, think about it!
You could clearly see that Sonic is facing in that direction, and the island is over here. So if Sonic was to jump off the orca, he would land over there into the water, where he'll drown. So how will he land on the island when he's facing in the wrong direction? Explain!
It can't! It just can't!
You think those two would count as one. Oh well. What the hell was that? That was more annoying than anything Chief Shadow did put together. That's gonna be burned in the back of my retinas for a long time.
Another Nostalgia Critic joke. The way you're using these skits are not funny or clever in the least. I would have thought by now you'd have at least found a good one considering how many times you've used them.
The first two were placed pretty well.
But no, instead, he clings onto the fin like a frightened cat, and now Tails has to save him. It's the lamest excuse to force you to play as Tails, who should have been following my ass to begin with.
Hey, the characters appeared out of nowhere in Shadow the Hedgehog, and nobody's complaining about that.
The other Sonic characters in Shadow the Hedgehog were support characters. Emphasis on support. The main player did not play as them, so no one complained about playing as them. It's not rocket science here.
Quick fact, Shadow the Hedgehog was the first Sonic game in a long time where you only played as one character.
And what was he doing, randomly standing by the edge of the dock?
He's assisting Sonic in rescuing Elise. Did you even watch the cutscene?
To save Sonic, you hit the switch. But why would you want to spoil the fun? Okay, why is there even a gate here? Am I in a fucking aquarium? And why was it left open to begin with? Now look at that! It doesn't even fully close. Why doesn't the stupid orca just swim underneath or go around? Look at it. How the fuck could it block the way?
Okay, to quote Big Al 2K6, who fucking cares?
Nothing makes any logical sense.
Okay, you don't need logic in video games.
Where is the logic in that? I need logic in my video games.
How did Sonic know the orca was trying to escape? Why did the orca try to escape the second Sonic jumped on its spin?
It's all part of the gameplay in the level.
Why weren't the other orcas trying to escape? And why did Sonic try to set them free instead of keeping them imprisoned?
Ladies and gentlemen, we just hit ourselves another pointless moment.
Finally, another well-placed one. Seriously, logic in video games?
I mean, what an asshole!
Tails, you saved me.
No, he didn't. You saved yourself by jumping away and defeated the entire Tails. Now, could the infinite train, loaded with bullshit, be any longer?
Well, let me ask you this.
You mean the bullshit in your review? Oh yes, it can.
Well, they were sitting around making this shit up.
Yes. How the hell did he jump from here all the way to here? Now there's no reason why he couldn't jump to that nearby thing.
Yes, there is. Go back to an earlier point of the commentary because I am not repeating myself.
If you don't hit the switch, you have to watch this. That was almost 10 seconds of nothing. Why doesn't Sonic jump away like he did before partially clearing the gate and beneath the water? Now the camera shakes, and this is a cutscene.
Okay, first of all, that would mean that you failed the mission. And secondly, ladies and gentlemen, we just hit ourselves another pointless moment.
You really called that a cutscene? Also, that Nostalgia Critic joke wasn't very well placed.
Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up!
Oh, now he runs faster? If he ran faster at the very beginning, he would have caught up by now. 1 up? What's wrong with this?
Are you seriously complaining about the icon that represents the 1-up? Who frickin' cares? It means that you gain an extra life. It doesn't matter if it says 1-up or has the Sonic's head.
This one is just plain fucking stupid.
And I die 2 seconds later?
You're doing it wrong.
Why are they replaced by empty containers? What a crap full of fuck platypus.
Wow, you completely raped angry video game nerds. What a shitload of fuck. And just proves that you are a total fucking ripoff.
There's a little saying that goes, pot calling the kettle black. You're calling Game Dude an angry video game nerd ripoff, saying he's completely unoriginal, when you have abused jokes from the Nostalgia Critic, the Spoony One, and Realm Wars to make your points.
And some people argue that the Nostalgia Critic is a ripoff of the Angry Video Game Nerd. Looks like we have come full circle.
What makes you any better?
Yeah, I've been meaning to say this for a while now. I have no problem with people using jokes from other videos. I've done it myself. Heck, we just made a joke using the forced laughter scene from Final Fantasy X.
I have an immense urge in my body to use that. Was it funny? Because I didn't find it funny clip that you guys said. But I'm not going to because I already did.
But I don't use these jokes every chance I get because it eventually makes the joke stale. Imagine if we had used that Final Fantasy X scene over and over and over again.
Oh god, no.
It would get annoying.
Get? As in future?
Even the Nostalgia Critic knows when to put gags to rest. Please, Chief Shadow, find some other jokes next time.
Okay, so I beat the level, but why does Sonic stop and pose in the middle of the chase?
Bitch.
That's the results. That is to show how well you did.
No, duh! Just chill out!
Remember the feather scene from Forrest Gump? Hard not to, isn't it?
God, are you seriously comparing this game to Forrest Gump? Unbelievable.
No, he was making a joke. We've said this time and time again. You're taking his stuff way too seriously. Where's your sense of humor? Was that supposed to be funny? Because I didn't find anything funny in that.
I gave up trying not to use that.
Riding the snowboard looks fun, but trust me, it sucks more than a vacuum. The controls are horrible.
Yeah, the controls aren't the only thing that's horrible.
Fuck! It's like riding a unicycle wearing a sumo suit moving a horse on a baby stroller through a bunch of winding hills.
I can't really tell if that was well placed or not.
No, don't go up! Oh, come on! It didn't even hit me!
Well, I'm sorry, but I just haven't the time.
Well, now I'm fucked. What? You could go right through it? What? I died?
Of course you died. You didn't have any rings to begin with.
Now, before, the lamest excuse forced you to play as Tails, but now, for absolutely no reason at all, you're simply just forced to play as him.
Again, nobody complained when that happened in Shadow the Hedgehog, where the supporting character appears out of nowhere and offers you a mission to complete.
Please refer to what Ryan said about supporting characters in Shadow the Hedgehog.
And that's actually worse because, well, they didn't even try! Fuck!
Roshutsu and Supersonic 407, this was the worst part of your commentary. You said to do your research before you make such a silly mistake, and yet you two just did one right now. You two are tallying the whammy as WTF. What's really interesting about this is that he even said that it was a whammy.
Also, if Tails was already about halfway through the level, then why didn't he just finish up by himself without waiting for Sonic?
God, are you seriously nitpicking about the way the level works? This is something I forgot to mention. This guy nitpicks. Constantly. This is unbelievable.
Didn't you mention him nitpicking earlier? I thought you did.
Why not just look back at your video and see? I've done that multiple times already.
But even if you didn't, we know. We can see it for ourselves. It's kinda late to be bringing up the obvious.
And not only is he nitpicking, but you're nitpicking on his nitpicking.
And you two are nitpicking on his nitpicking on his nitpicking, and I am nitpicking on your two's nitpicking on his nitpicking on his nitpicking. Not to mention, I am nitpicking on his nitpicking and nitpicking on his nitpicking on his nitpicking. I agree that nitpicking shouldn't occur so much in a video game review, and that the Game Dude will never make a job as a critic. However, commentaries are all about nitpicking.
Are they trying to save the world, or are they baton racing with invisible batons? Well, I couldn't tell you exactly what they're doing. Why? Because the story is a completely illogical fucking encyclopedia.
Okay, the story deals with time travel, and it adds a twist into what you got from the opening cutscene.
If we don't return in time, Elise will die on board Eggman's battleship. That means
you travel back even further in time. I mean, if you can travel through time, then why should you worry about...
But you, the Game Dude, would know that Silver and Sonic worked together to get Sonic back even further in time.
About it.
It would make the story shorter, and it will be a waste of your money.
I mean, why should you run about it? Oh, you're gonna love this one. Shadow jumps into this portal. Oh, you son of a bitch. And out comes Rouge the Bat. We? What do you mean, we?
And Shadow.
Shadow jumped into the portal. I don't know where the fuck you came from.
Probably from the other side of the base.
Now, this is where the game really takes it up the ass. Dying is easier than the kindergarten math test. Believe me.
Okay, I will admit that looks like the most challenging and probably the most frustrating part of the entire game. But all you need to do is just keep collecting rings and you'll win. Trust me, those rings will come in handy.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and collect all the rings you can. Hopefully without getting hit by flying cars and debris, being thrown by that flaming tornado, and avoiding all the obstacles on the road ahead of you. Do all that, and yeah, don't worry, you'll be fine.
How can we trust your word if you admitted to not playing the game? You don't know how easy or hard this level is, let alone if getting rings will help you at all.
It's called common sense, Roshutsu. Getting rings will keep you alive in a Sonic game.
Not every Sonic game follows the same formula, you know.
Most of them are close enough anyway.
You don't want to fuck around in this death playground. Everything wants you dead. The almost unavoidable obstacles on the road and falling debris that comes out of nowhere and hits you in a fraction of a second, the camera by changing angles, the bad frame rate by making you run faster than the camera and crash into objects.
Alright, I am forced to repeat myself again. This game was rushed because Sega was under pressure. Alright? And also, just keep collecting rings. If you get hit and you lose all your rings, just collect more. It's not that hard.
And ironically, even the rings, because when you magically glide through them, the straightforward momentum hurls you into even more objects.
Don't light dash then.
Also, if you stay too close to the edges you die, if you jump too early you die, if you jump too late you die, and because you can only jump straight if you jump at the wrong angle you die, you will die again and again and again and again and again. I can't take it anymore!
I get the feeling that I remember this somewhere.